Oh, I know why. I'm like, why is it when I do this, I'm not out of there? I got to go to settings.
Okay, I can hear now.
Okay. Hi, everybody. If
Hi.
anybody's here.
What were you gonna say, Jess? What did you?
Did you want to do any news today at all or no?
There wasn't anything to talk
Today there's
about.
news that the National Association for the Deaf is suing SiriusXM for failing to provide captioning and transcripts for the podcasting. Like
Ooh.
what? Like what?
I mean,
What?
that's actually big, dude.
It's pretty big. Here. It's a Verge article. Hold on, let me see if I can get it for
I
you.
didn't. I mean, we can put it in there. That's just gonna make things.
I know. It's not very holiday spirity.
Well, it doesn't matter. I think that the point is that this has been in the. I don't think that this is a new thing.
You don't actually think they should do that, do you?
Well, of course. That's like I think part of it is that that's where things are going. That is part of the I don't even know what it's called. There's an act. The whatever
Yes.
act.
That would be the Americans with Disabilities Act.
That's it. Yes. Yes. So there are laws that you have to comply
That's what I needed to do.
with and stuff. So it's up to you
Yeah,
if you
but
want to do that. I just thought it would be really good to just cover
that's fine. That's
like
fine.
the end of the year stuff and just to, I mean,
I
I have
just think
another.
it's asking a lot.
Well, yeah, it is, but I think that part of it is sort of like, when you first got how do you like the ramps, on ramps into
That's not asking a lot. People need to be able to go where they got to go, but you don't expect to be able to hear,
it's
consume
not
a hearing thing without being able to hear.
well because
Oh,
people can read. There's a lot of people who really do need this for their brain and the way that their brain works. Like if you're
How
like
are they
with my
making
child,
TV? How are they making TV visible for the blind?
but they're having
they can
that's
hear it.
not well they do have captioning. They have like the
Right, they
stuff
can
where they
hear it.
go
That's for the deaf,
no,
for
but
the blind.
Right, it's for the deaf. I'm saying
it's
you don't see blind
no, no,
people
no.
asking to see shit.
No, they actually do. That's what I'm saying. There is captioning that is for people who can't see that says the person enters the room. It's a dark
Yeah,
room and they say, and then you can read
Oh,
it on this excuse me.
but they
There is
can't
hear it.
see
captioning, not
Elsie.
hear
Yeah,
it.
they
You
hear it.
can hear it. You can hear it. You can hear it and that's what I've turned it on before. Where I'm like, "What is happening?" And it says
Can't.
What is
it
why
actually
is
says
someone
Because
that.
who's that person telling me that somebody walked in the room?
yeah,
Yeah, so
right.
it actually tells you there's an open space. The actors walk into the like not the actors, the character, whoever walks into like they tell you that.
I,
Mm.
I,
And then there's alt text. I don't know if you've noticed the alt text
yes,
where
I
it's
have
like you
noticed alt
literally
text,
so
but
then
that's
in like
different. I
on
know that's
Twitter,
being read.
you can add to it and then you can have all the stuff and that is also for visual pictures and things.
Okay,
Okay.
I
What
think
was that?
I put that in a different category
Mm.
It's
than
all I believe all of that is the same.
Okay.
So if you're having an image, you have to describe that image to somebody who can't see it.
yeah.
All right, so we're on a hard time out, right? So we got to get to it, don't we?
Yes, we
Mhm,
are
mhm.
hard timeout.
All right, so let's get ready to record.
Yes, Jess, we need to. I saw the conversation that we had about Linktree. So, do you have a copy for Linktree, or
Oh yeah, hold on. I do.
you
This
can just
guy
copy
is
and
a
paste it
pain
there?
in
That
the
way,
dick. He's a pain in the dick. He's a huge giant
dude,
pain in the dick.
you do
Who?
What?
realize that we're live, and this is going out.
She
I
doesn't.
didn't say who I was talking about, did I?
No, you didn't.
For all you know, she could be talking about me.
Or Scott?
True.
Or me.
I mean, that's a standing comment about you. Pain in the dick. You're a pain in the dick.
It's a shame. It's a shame that can't be the title of the episode.
Absolute
Yeah.
pain in
Well,
the
yeah. I mean,
dick.
it could, but it doesn't really, it's probably not the best thing to do in the
Yeah.
West.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I have
Are they
to. I
on? Are
didn't
we
send a
in?
thing that we're
Hello?
It's not very
doing this.
festive.
Are we live already?
Yeah.
We are, dude. We have been
Okay,
live for like
I
this
see a
whole time.
couple.
See at the
Right, I
top
see
it
a
says,
couple.
does
Yeah,
it
I
tell
see
you
it,
the
I see it.
minutes? When you guys are
Yes.
Yes,
your-
it says 5:40.
Yeah,
Okay.
5:42. I'm sorry.
I am going to
I just gotta test one thing.
Pain in the
send
dick.
you
Pain in the
email.
dick. Pain in the dick. Pain
Oh
in the
my
dick.
God.
You know what? I had an
Pain.
earworm the other day, and it was the song on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Megan Thee Stallion, and Ariana Grande singing about the vaccine.
Oh, I've never seen that.
We're all in line for our boosters. And that thing was in my ear. And
We're all in line for
you've never seen the video for that yet?
Not that, no, but I'll look it up. It sounds funny.
but that is so funny.
Let me see if I can play it. I can play it without doing the audio.
Can I tell you guys a quick story before we start? While we're getting, I mean, I don't know how long it is.
Yeah,
till
yeah.
the-
Please
Right.
go for it while I'm trying to send a text.
So for those of you who are watching, not necessarily listening, I don't think I've been secretly hiding the fact that the hotel that we did She Podcast Live at was very difficult on me. They were hard on me for the last 2 years. They made things very difficult. And in the end, they delivered the final insult by sending everyone on on my staff an amenity except for me because they hated me. Which is pretty hurtful considering I had to be there for like a whole week planning an event and giving them money. And they had like, clear disdain for me. Well, to make a very long story short, they also did something extremely offensive while we were there that I didn't know about. They tried to take away our gender neutral bathrooms and tell our staff that we had to, put those together all the way in the back until Jen said, that's a civil rights issue. Then he called his lawyer. Then he realized he had made a mistake. Then he let us do what we want. In fact, every time he tried to pull something, I would yell at him and then he would let us do what we wanted. But it happened like 17 times over 2 years. Like it happened over and over and over. Well, it just so happens that the person who came to visit us, the person who's helping us source our new hotel, she works in Scottsdale. She works for American Express Travel, but she is based in Scottsdale. So she really does recommend a lot of properties in Scottsdale. And she has been turning down their bids when her clients want to find a place in Scottsdale. She says no because of the terrible experience that we had working with them. So she was talking about it with another colleague who happened to work for the Tourism Association of Scottsdale and told them what a bad experience we had, who then said, it's my job. I don't know if you know this, but I have to bring it up with them now. I have to. And so Karen was like, have at it. Tell them whatever you want to tell them. So she did. She called them and said, hey, you've chased away business for us now because of the way you treated this person. And now he called Karen, very apologetic, asking if he could make up for it, seeing if he could call me and apologize.
Nope.
And Karen was like, well, I'll ask Jen. And so she called Jen and Jen called me. And I was like, no, I don't want to hear his apology because it's very clearly for this reason and not because he's sorry. What he said to her was, it wasn't my best moment, or I didn't handle that well, which is probably I mean, you didn't handle it well. Every time we talked on the phone, he told me that I was just twisting the knife and doing what I wanted, that I was trying to get my way every time. Like he gaslit the hell out of me. And now he wants to apologize. Like, that's hilarious. So anyway, the end of the story is that I said no, I didn't want him to apologize, but if he would resign and recommend either a non-binary person or woman of color to his position, then that would be a sufficient apology. Other than that, I mean, because first I was like, why doesn't he pay for all of us to come to Scottsdale, but to a different property for a
that's all.
vacation in Scottsdale? Me, you, Jen, and just we don't go to this plaza, but we go somewhere fancier on his dime. And then I was like, wait, why don't we get him to like donate to a charity, a woman's charity, or or an underprivileged, or LGBTQ charity? And then I was like, no, because what happened was he didn't just say no, we couldn't do it. He marched into the office and yelled at Jen and Jack, and we're like, you don't own this hotel. You don't get to tell us what to do. You don't get to, he screamed in their face and made them cry. And made Jack cry.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
You're like, fuck this guy. Forget it. He never made me cry, but that's because I was too angry to cry. But like,
You're
yeah, he
always
was a
too
total
angry to
dick.
cry.
And it just so happened that Karen was there for that conversation. That's the conversation that Jen wouldn't tell me until after I was out of Arizona. And for good reason, because had she told me, I think we all know what I would have done.
Yes.
She's
He'd have
smart. She knows me.
marched in there and said, guess what? This is why I'm
Absolutely.
here.
I would
This
have been
is
like,
my
who the
hotel.
Yeah, I would have been like, who the fuck do you think you are? This is a conference full of fucking content creators, you dumb dick. You
Yeah.
think I'm not going to tell them what you just did? Which, by the way, I just did 2 months later. But anyway, so no, I'm not going to hear his apology. I do think my idea is good to have him resign. That's the only way. I would suggest. Not that it's even up to me, but I think that's the only way that Karen would start recommending their property is if he wasn't there.
I would agree
If
with
I
that.
were her, that's what I would do.
He should resign.
Yeah. So yeah. Hi, Melissa. So Melissa, that's the story I wanted to tell you earlier that I just ended up telling. I knew you were on, so I thought I would just give it to you now. Yeah. So he's trying to apologize now, December 15th, for shit he did exactly 2 months ago that he clearly has no remorse for, or it would have happened before today.
Yeah,
it is a great story.
because he's doing it because he got in trouble for it.
Yeah, he's doing it because now he knows he's losing business. So actually what I thought I might do is, I was telling Jen, I might write an article with the headline, "White Man Held Accountable."
Oh my God.
Which is nothing you ever see in the news, right? You never see stupid white guy held accountable for being an asshole. News at 11, right? Like you've never seen that. So I think that it is newsworthy, certainly.
Well, this white guy would like to be held accountable for pressing record.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry if it was an underwhelming story, but
That was a good story. Still want to press record. Here we go. Tell me when you're ready.
Go. Ready.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, press record. All right. Elsie, give me a hello.
Hello.
Jess, give me a hello.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
We ready to go with
And
the music?
We're
Wait,
ready to
hold
go.
up. Do we wait? Should we add to the notes the microphone?
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's
What is
here.
that?
Elsie, what would you do if you were me? Would you listen to his fucking apology? Would you allow him to bounce into your email or your telephone to hear his voice again?
I was not in your shoes, dude. I don't even know who this person is. I mean, I'm hearing what you're saying, all of these things that you're saying. I was not exposed to everything he did, nor do I know who this person is. And I never
You
thought there was a
were.
man involved.
Oh yeah. Don't you remember when I told you, didn't I tell you about the time that like he relented and gave us a very expensive Wi-Fi package, and then I had to ask for it in writing, and then they wanted it back by August 23rd. I sent it back on August 20th, but I sent it to Jen thinking she was going to send it
Yeah,
back.
no,
and
you
she
told
thought,
me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they took it away. They tried to take
Right.
it away because of that.
Yeah, no,
Like-
I understand. I hear those things. I just didn't know this dude was, yelling at you and doing all the things.
I didn't know that either until until after.
Well,
Yeah, he yelled at them.
those
But
are
I mean,
things, like, I don't even
on,
know who this person is. Listen, I don't have all the facts. I mean, and I'm not saying you're not wrong, but I also All I'm saying is that I don't have all the facts, and I also know how you respond to things.
It's an East
Hold
Coast.
on.
I've seen that in the past.
Hold on.
And what?
What are you trying to say? You think that I would call a hotel that I was very closely working with and start shit for no reason?
No.
Oh, you're saying
I'm
that
just-
I would overreact.
Yes. Or that you would just push it in a way that is sometimes super extra.
Yes.
Like
I agree with
that's
her.
all. I'm not that's all. Like that it just becomes more versus less, and that's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't need to ask all the things. I'm not saying I don't feel like I'm in a place where I can make this decision, because again, I wasn't in I don't know any of the stuff. I know certain communications that happened. I don't know the capacity of this person. And of course, a lot of people are going to make decisions that are based on when somebody puts their arm behind their back. That's the only time they're going to actually make a choice. And they're only going to take care of their bottom line. The only way that people change their ways is when it starts to affect businesses for them. And it's not just this guy, it's everyone.
It's everything.
It's everyone and everything. And it doesn't matter. It's like you're going to live and die by a specific policy until you have enough people losing you business when you're not doing it. And you really have to see it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That it's not unusual. And the only reason, and that's for everybody. No one, I can tell you that. Business-wise, most people will not make a decision because they just want to take care of the other person, or people who are generally overlooked and not taken care of. And
True, but you
it
don't
just
have to go
doesn't-
out of your way to try and fuck them either.
You are
And that
correct.
kept happening. It
You are
just
correct.
kept happening. That's one example I gave you with the Wi-Fi. What about the fact that like our contract said that we could hire our own AV, and then at the end there, like literally a week before the event, they tried to say, well, you can only hire your own AV for the main ballroom. You still have to use us for the rest. A week before.
And didn't you have an issue with them because it didn't end up being
That is
recorded?
a totally separate point.
Oh, okay.
But yes, we did have a terrible issue with our AV, and maybe it was sabotage. Now that you mention it, I don't know, but I'd love to say that like whether or not we had an issue with our AV company, it still very clearly said we wanted to use our own, and they've tried to pull the last minute. No, you can't. After everything was in place.
Is this going to be part of the show?
No,
I don't think
but
so. And we have to we got to record
gotta
these.
move
I have
here.
to get off in an hour.
I'm sorry I
Right,
brought
okay.
it up. Moving
No,
on.
it's
look,
fine.
It's
just
fine that you're, but it's like, but I think that this is probably
No, I'm
not
just sorry
the
for my own
place.
personal reasons. I'm not sorry to you guys. I'm regretting bringing it up.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you when we're by ourselves what I would do. Because you know me, I'm
I mean, there's
evil.
nothing to do at this point. I would just call them and try to get some kind of sense out of them, and instead I got screamed at.
I don't think that would happen with me, but
I mean, I got yelled at and screamed at, and I was very calm. And I was very calm the whole time. In fact, I just said, like, do you not understand that I've told you several times that this is a community funded event, and you can't just decide to charge me another $30,000 at the last minute. I'm not going to be able to afford it. I'll have to cancel the event. You're just threatening that because you want your way. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I literally can't afford what you're trying to do.
yeah.
Every time, Elsie, every time. I'm not some kind of crazed lunatic calling people and screaming at them, but I appreciate the implication. That's nice.
Nobody implied that.
Nobody
No.
implied that, dude. I'm not
No.
I'm not
saying
trying
that.
to take an issue and make it all kinds of extra. I'm telling you, this guy was a piece of shit
Yes,
every
but
time
that's
we
not-
talked.
I'm just, it's not what I'm saying. I just don't think that this is like this conversation at this moment. It's just, and then being put it's, again, it's sort of like, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to somebody who's an asshole in this capacity. I don't know what's appropriate to be able to respond to somebody. I've never been in that position before. I don't know what it's like. I
Okay.
don't know. And so I don't
Thank you,
know
Terry.
how to I don't know, and it has nothing to do with that. I just, again, I'm only going from what I saw and what I've seen is what I'm saying. That's it. I don't
This is
know
That
all
makes
the
sense.
information.
this is why you got to come
Okay.
and watch live. You get all
Yeah,
this,
and I
all the good
also
bits.
don't know, like, yeah, I've never been in a position where I would have to deal with somebody in this capacity ever. So I feel like I don't have a appropriate answer for you. I don't know how I would deal with it.
Okay. All right, let's start the
That's
show.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was like, this was I was really happy. I thought we were gonna have like a happy show. Now
We
I'm
are.
We
feeling
are.
really like,
It's okay.
I don't know. I'm feeling super
How about we do
ugh,
the deep breath thing? Everybody take a
like I
in.
don't even know what to like. There's like I feel like my joy has been sucked out. And now like
Breathing.
you're mad at me and I don't know like what to say. I don't,
I'm not mad at
you
you.
know.
I understand what you're saying. Totally.
Breathing.
I do. I'm not mad at all.
Okay.
I'm not.
First day back after
Have
2
I ever
months.
stayed mad at you longer than 2 minutes? Ever? Have I ever told you I was mad
Well,
at you and
dude,
then like 5 minutes later been like, I'm mad still? Ever. I'm
well,
not
I
mad.
don't
I
know because
understand your
usually
point.
we're not together. So I don't
That's
know if you're
true.
mad at me.
Well, first of all, you do, because there's been times when I have said I didn't like something, and then I have to 5 minutes later be like, I'm seriously not mad. I can feel you stewing across the country. Stop it. I'm not mad.
Well,
Have
yes,
I
you
not
have
done
done
that?
that.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm
you
not
have done
mad.
that.
I am not
But what
mad. You explained
Okay.
your point. I understand. You're right. You've never been in this position. You weren't part of the conversations. I was just curious whether or not someone who dicked you over for 2 years wanted to apologize because they were in a bad position. If you would allow them the opportunity to listen. That's all I wanted to know. But you're right. You don't have enough context, I guess.
I don't, but then at the same time, it's like I also,
You also
you
know that
know,
I
I'm
can
my instinct
whatever
is
be
to say
animated
yes.
or aggressive.
Everybody needs all I'm saying is like I've always been like I'm willing to listen. But that's me, and I can tell
Now,
you that my other half has zero, like he's just like, it's over.
yeah.
This is done. Like he cuts time, like he doesn't have a, oh, let's just everybody get along. We need to be humans and support each other and like goodness and light, which is like where I come from. He's like, you know what?
Yeah.
This is over. And when he says you're cut off, you're cut off. Like there's no, he's done that
Yeah.
with, he's
I'll give
just
you an
done.
example. I'm
He's
going to give
done.
you an example. It's the same as if, okay, I was married before Scott for about 3.5 years. And during that time, I would say that the main theme of the marriage was trauma, not physical, but mostly verbal, mental, emotional trauma. Later, as we matured, he was diagnosed, he went to therapy, he's on medication. We've had a very friendly relationship, but it's almost as if like, here we are. I've been divorced since the year 2000, so 22 years almost. What if this person was just like, you know what? I just want to talk to you for about 5 minutes and apologize for every shitty thing I did while we were married. Like, there's no. So I can relive it? You're not sorry. It's 20 years later, dumbass. Like, come on. Why? Oh, well, it turns out I can't get another girlfriend until I apologize to you. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, that's too fucking bad. It's kind of like that. Like,
Okay.
this guy is only apologizing because he can't get laid anywhere else. Oh, well, don't care. Move on. It had nothing to do with you. I mean, but it is very similar. I didn't escalate anything.
You realize he's living rent free in your head. He doesn't care whether he apologizes to you or not. This is all
He does right now. Yes, he does. He is
Wow.
very desperately trying to get on her good side.
Okay.
Well, I think that part of it, if you put it in that respect, in terms of like
he was abusive.
Well, yeah, like if you put it in the respect of what you just laid it out with, like I feel exactly like you do. Like I'm sorry, but
no,
no,
thank you.
I've
Yeah.
moved on. Like
Yeah.
I've moved on. I'm done.
like hearing that
There is
person's
no
voice.
like I don't want to be in this situation, because the only way that I would be in that situation if for some reason like I had to work or be around this, I had to
right.
for some
If you were
reason.
co-parenting,
Yes,
which I'm
or
not
I had
anymore.
or you had signed a thing and you
Right.
had and you were
Right.
committed for
That's
another
right.
year and we had to do it again
That's
next
right.
year.
Right. That's right. Or if
Yeah.
or in the same scenario, if the kids were 6 and 7 and I still had to parent with him for another 15 years,
Right.
maybe I would listen. Either way, I'm over it. But I don't have to ever look or hear this person again. So why go through it?
Right.
That's my
That
point.
in
All right.
that respect, that puts it into context with me. And therefore, I agree with
Yeah.
you 100%.
And now you
I'd be done
understand
with
why
it.
I
And
got frosty there, because it's like telling me that I pushed my abuser into abusing me. Like, I
right, but
know
you
I'm
didn't
animated.
put it into that context. You gave me
I know, you're right.
things, right? Where
You're right.
I didn't know what the idea, I didn't know what the I didn't know.
I
There's
know.
a difference
You're
between you
right.
going like, would you listen to somebody's apology?
Right. I know, you're
I
right.
say yes.
That's
I
why I
would.
said let's move on, because you told me I don't have enough context, and I was like, "You're right. Let's just start the show." I mean, you're right. I
Right.
didn't mean for it to be abrupt. I was being
Right.
sincere. I mean, even if you guys are watching this, I mean, Terry's like, "This is a testament to your friendship." True, but also I am a person, when I say I'm over it, I'm just over it. If I say I'm annoyed, I'm annoyed. If I say I'm not, I'm not. There's no passive aggressive, deeply seated undercurrent of emotion with me. Like, I'm either hot at the moment or I'm not. It's very easy once you figure that out about me to be my friend, because it's almost like no strings attached. I don't
Right.
ask a lot emotionally. I don't require a lot of hand holding or babysitting. Even if I am mad or angry, it just requires conversation and then we're done. So it is maybe a testament to our friendship, but it's also a statement about she and I both. Because actually the thing that makes it better, the conversation, is the part that's hard for her. So the fact that she will say, I don't know enough, and then I say we're done, and then she says, no, wait, that is a testament to her strength and how her friendship has blossomed. Because I think she's not used to someone also who's just like, okay, I can be mad about it for 2 minutes. Let's move on. But she doesn't. I mean, do you agree, Elsie?
Yeah. I
Do you know what I
I
mean?
agree with you. I don't know what that is. I mean, I'm more curious because I just felt like there wasn't enough, like you know what I mean? Like what
You thought I
I was saying
spilled
to
your
you.
joy.
No, yeah, but at the same time, it's like I didn't know what you were like. I didn't have enough.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't have
There
enough
wasn't enough
context.
context.
And so
Yeah, I know.
when
I'm
you give
sorry.
context, it
You're
just
right.
opens up so many different things. And then in that respect, I'm super open to hearing more.
I thought I had told you all the things, but I guess I didn't.
Well, you
Maybe I was
do,
just
but
talking to
it's like
Melissa and Elsie about it.
I
Or
think that
Melissa
there's a
and Jen.
difference between you didn't tell me all the things and I wasn't in all the things. And
No, I know.
and I'm not saying I want to be in all, because that's what I told you. I'm like, I don't
No, I
want
know
to
you
be
don't want to
part of
be.
that.
I know you don't.
But
I know.
I didn't understand the like I don't know what I would have done, dude. I would have been I would have yeah, I don't know what I would have done.
mean,
Like that's not a
I think you
situation
would have
that I would
told
have
me and I
wanted
would
to
have
be
called
with.
and yelled at him. I think it's either way. Either way, it would have happened the same. You'd have told me what he was saying, and I'd have been like, I'll call you back. Call him on the phone, try and understand what's happening, and then give him shit about it, which is what I did before. It doesn't matter. All right. Moving on. Let's start our show, because what
Oh
you
my
have to get off
God.
at 1:15.
1:15, dude.
All right,
But
we
Yes,
have a
we
lot
have
to
an hour
I
discuss
can
show.
push it just
Let's
a
go.
little bit, and I will let them know that I'm going to be a little bit late. But yeah,
All right,
1:15.
that's fine. So,
Ready?
all right.
Here we
Thank
go.
you,
Yeah.
Terry. Yep. Hello. Welcome to episode 340. I'd love to know what the numbers 3, 4, and 0 mean in numerology, because it is our last one of the year. It's kind of an even number, which is cool. It is 4. I always thought was my lucky number, and it's our holiday episode. Ho ho ho, yo!
Oh
It's
my
our holiday
God.
episode.
I just found out
So
something about you. You really think that 4 is your lucky number?
I always used to say it was as a kid. I
It
never
was
thought
mine
about why.
too. It still
Not
is.
your face. What?
That's why
If
I'm like a
someone
little
says-
bit astounded.
If someone says think of a number between 1 and 10, 4 is my go-to. Is that your go-to as well?
4 is actually not the one that I go to because it's that special to me.
Prepare to
That's
drop your door.
interesting.
So like I
Mine-
love 4. The number 4 is like my magical number. It's my special number. It's this number that makes me happy. I'm constantly picking 4 and then anything that has 4 to it. So like 14, 44.
Yep.
Like
24,
14 and 44
34.
are my other ones of my favorites, but 4
Yeah.
is like the number for me.
That I had no idea. Well, why would we ever talk about that? It's interesting.
Exactly.
But yeah, 4 is my lucky
But
4 is
number.
mine.
well, also, why do
It's
we get
also my
attached
favorite
Stop
number.
to
it,
like
John.
It is.
John,
4
4 is
is
your
my
lucky number
favorite number.
too?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
What?
4 is my-
Weird, you guys.
Yes,
That's
4
weird.
is my favorite number.
That's crazy.
That is so crazy. What is
That's
your
why-
favorite number, people? Put it in the
Yeah.
chat or
Put it in
send
the
us some
chat.
feedback over
Don't
at
say
feedback@shepodcast.com.
Yeah.
Just because why do we get attached to these things? I don't know. How does one develop a favorite to numbers? I don't know.
Yeah.
But 8. Oh,
8.
look, Terry. I would love 8
Mm.
because 8 is 2 4s. And so
That's
that's
right.
how
And
I
also
see
it's
it.
racing around. Melissa's birthday is 4/4.
What?
What? That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. This is getting crazy. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Wowzers. Okay.
That's weird.
So today we have all kinds of good stuff to talk about. We we're talking about some, like sort of a yearly roundup, which we do once in a while. Before we get to that though, I wanted to talk to you about a new sponsor that we have, someone that we all hopefully know and love, Linktree.
Yes.
Linktree is awesome because it helps you thread everything you do together with one link. It's a click away. Everything is a click away thanks to Linktree. With Linktree, you grow your audience across your platforms, share your entire online world, monetize all the work that's gotten people's attention. Creators, brands, and businesses all over the world trust Linktree to curate their digital universes. It's like a one-stop shop. Selena Gomez uses it. Glennon Doyle, Gwen Stefani run their whole online lives through Linktree. If you go to linktree.com, you can get 3 months of free Linktree Pro with the coupon She Podcast. So run, don't
Oh
walk.
my God.
Linktree.com, use She Podcast, get 3 months free and see why everyone uses it. We use it. We love it. It's a great way. So when you have like the one link in your bio, you just put it in Linktree. You never have to change the bio link. You just add that stuff and take it away in Linktree. It's the besticles.
I love it.
Um,
Libsyn also uses Linktree. So that's like a couple of companies right there that use
Yeah.
Linktree. I actually just also suggested folks use Linktree for some of their campaigns because I taught this course of planning for next year, and I love to really think about creating campaigns for your podcast whenever you're selling or promoting something specific, and in order to measure whether or not these things are working, to use something like Linktree. If you don't have other solutions, like you don't have to have a website to do this, you don't have to have very specific thing, and Linktree is a really wonderful way to do it because it also gives you analytics, which is awesome. And it's really great to be able to put it on top. But anyway, thank you, Linktree, for supporting She Podcast. We are so excited to have you.
Thank you. We are so
Love
excited to have you. Okay. So Elsie, you put some notes in here that you did oh, you want to talk about Sex in the City? I didn't watch that actually, but we can totally talk about it. But so Elsie added some stuff this year about a recap as well as her favorite things. I put in some of my favorite things, but also I put in some stuff that I'm going to get rid of. And also I put some stuff in my card that I'm still working on that I haven't quite mastered yet. And I don't know if you want to get on that train or not, but we can just start with what you have, the things that you love, and go from there if you'd like. Or do you want to talk about Sex in the City first, just like that?
Let's do like really quickly. Let's just talk about that.
ahead.
This is actually the context that I want to talk about in it, because I know like if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to give anything away. I just want to say that the reason that I'm talking about Sex in the City and Just Like That for In She podcasts is the fact that it really does have a massive podcasting component.
I know.
Because
I heard
what's her name? Carrie? Is that what she
Carrie
is?
Bradshaw. Yep, she's
Carrie
a podcaster
Bradshaw
now, right?
is a podcaster. She's doing a podcast. It's her
Yeah, it's about
thing right
time.
now. It is.
She could have been
hilarious.
doing it all along, but they didn't have the
I'm sorry.
foresight.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? And
Yeah.
and there's actually a part where she is saying like, I have a podcast, and then like Miranda kind of says something like, oh, come on, I love you, but I just don't want to listen to a podcast. And so it's like,
Because Miranda, always the asshole.
yeah, but then actually, but
Always.
in there, like in that article though, it says that they actually, like, the audience begs the differ. They said Miranda actually would be, out of them, the one that does listen to podcasts
I
out
don't
of them
agree.
all. So anyway,
You know
I'm just
why?
saying,
I'll tell you why I don't agree. Because
Okay.
lawyers are notoriously off of tech. You would think that they would be some of the most technically savvy people because they're some of the smartest. And that would stand to reason, except that lawyers do not use social media. They do not. And as a result, they probably read newspapers still in print. They probably just listen to the car radio. They're not really the ones that would listen to podcasts. I mean, yes, she's supposed to be an activist, but as a lawyer, that's off the table. Lawyers and accountants and social workers, they are not technically friendly at all because they have to protect themselves and their
mind
clients.
you, I agree with you in the way that things were, and possibly Miranda, but I really believe that the new generation of all of those industries that you just mentioned might possibly prove you wrong. Although the actual industry itself, meaning the way that information travels from point one to point B, is possibly right in line with, like, you know, the IRS or the medical industry, where you're still getting faxes. You know
It's
what
not
I
to say
mean?
that they shouldn't or that they couldn't. It's to say that because they're not on tech, podcasting is one of those things that, like, I think you are exposed to on social media. And if they're not on social media, they naturally wouldn't be more apt to do that, in my opinion. It's not
Maybe.
because it's out of reach. It's sort of like you can't ask a lawyer about a funny video you've seen on TikTok because they are just not on
Okay.
TikTok, because they're not on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and everything else. It's just sort of like a clump of crap that they don't get into. That's my
Possibly,
observation.
although I do know one of my cousins, I think that she might have just turned she was born in 1984. How old is that? I don't know, whatever.
9 years younger than me. So I would say 38.
Okay, so she is on Instagram for sure. And she
Yeah.
talks about being lawyery.
Yeah,
all this stuff.
Andrea. Are you talking about Andrea, the legalpreneur?
No, dude,
No.
she's my cousin.
Oh, the legalpreneur is someone, I forget her last name, but she is on she is doing amazingly on TikTok, but she's more of like a trademark lawyer.
No. I'm
So
saying
maybe
she's on Instagram. But what I'm saying
your
is that
cousin.
she's all there talking about being a lawyer, but she's not trying to build a brand about being a
Oh, I
lawyer.
see.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
she could be.
Like a
Yeah,
human.
but
She's a
Miranda's too
human
old for that, I
being
think.
that has an Instagram and
I
works
think
on an Instagram, and I mean does her thing on
Hey.
Instagram, but she's not using it as a job.
Interesting.
Anywho, I'm just saying that possibly, yes, maybe for the older, like maybe our generation. That said, though, that's the only reason I wanted you to bring this over, because they are producing a podcast. It is actually being done in a room. It looks more like a radio recording, possibly.
Does it like a studio?
It's like a studio. They're in a studio setting. And they have a producer that's behind a wall, like you can see them through the thing. I do believe in an upcoming episode, what I saw in the next one that's coming, I think episode 3, that I believe Carrie is at home recording with them in a studio. So that's going to be interesting to see how they set up, because I'm all conscious about like the setup of the recording and all of the things. And so I thought that was very intriguing that now this just brings podcasting into the mainstream yet at another level, right? It's yet
Yes,
another
that's true.
level of embeddedness in the culture, whether or not this specific, Sex in the City edition, if you will, it hits the world culturally in the same way the first one did. I don't know, but the fact that that it's a huge focus of the entire of the series, I think that that's huge.
Mhm.
She's a podcaster. That is what Carrie Bradshaw is. She used to be a writer, or I mean, she's still, I'm sure, writing, but she's currently that's she's a podcaster. That's insane to me.
Mhm,
That's crazy.
mhm. It is
So
crazy. It's kind of amazing and very cool. I don't know if it's good for us or not, but let's not debate that at this moment.
yeah, Laura, let's
You
not
know,
debate that. I'm just saying she's a podcaster, and
that's
I'm just
great.
going to
That part's
disclose
great.
this right now. I have not watched one episode of Sex in the City prior to these last two that I just watched for the new one. So
Okay.
I'm just saying I never got into it. I don't have a desire to look back. I have zero interest in it. And the only reason I'm watching is because they're old.
Okay.
Or they're old like me. Like, I feel like age right now is very important to me. And so I'm like, oh, I'm curious how they're going to do this. That's it.
Mhm.
So, and I thought it was
Cool.
interesting, and I liked it. I got sucked in. I want to know more, and I thought, oh, interesting, cool. But I have no cultural connection to any of these characters, nor do I know them beyond seeing the pictures of them in the past. That's all.
Got it. Sweet.
All right, moving on.
Moving on. Moving on. All right. So going over the recap.
Yeah,
I
let's
tried
look
to
at
add
this.
something to this, but you really did cover it all.
Well, before we get into the recap, I thought that we should discuss I mean, I don't know about
Our
you,
own
but
things?
looking at that spreadsheet, how fun was it to just look at the spreadsheet just in one go? I don't know
I
if you
mean,
saw it. Did
you
you
just
look
said the
at it
word
or
fun and look at spreadsheet. I didn't
Oh,
find it
sorry.
fun, but I did think it was very nicely organized. But fun is a very strong word.
Yes, it is a very
So,
sorry.
so what is this? So you made a Google form?
No, yeah, well, this is how we share our information with our team. So you're not involved in this part at all.
No,
So there's
it's
a
okay.
Google form. There's a Google form that I fill out every week whenever the episode is actually live. So once the show is live, then I fill out the Google form, and then we have like the number, like the title, the date that it was released, and then it has a paragraph of what the description, a summary of the show, and then it has a link to our show notes, and it's all in the Google form. I just submit it, and then it gets thrown into this beautiful little spreadsheet. And then so at the end of the year, we have this beautiful little spreadsheet where you can at a glance look at all of our episodes of the year with the titles and the summary, which I think that was really key for me, looking at the summary of the stuff,
Yeah,
because I could
it's
look at the
helpful.
episode and then quickly read whatever that little bit is that we put out there. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, I remember that.
No, it's great. It's a really good. Oh, bye, Terry. It's a really good synopsis, and it keeps things nice and organized, and keeps us able to see what the hell we talked about recently, which is good, especially for
Totally.
me
And
because I
then,
often forget.
yeah, I forgot so many things. Anyway, go ahead and let's go forth.
Okay. Recap of 2021. We hit our 300th episode, and thanks to Elsie's spreadsheet, I can tell you exactly when that was. It
Yay.
was on 2/5/21. We had 300. I can't believe it. We're going to hit 400 sooner or later, which is amazing. That's amazing.
That's pretty phenomenal. Yeah.
How is that even possible that like I was pregnant when we started She Podcast and now that kid is 7?
I know.
Like that is unbelievable to me.
Isn't it astounding? Absolutely.
It doesn't feel right. I don't feel like the same person at all. I'm not. I mean, you're
you know
not.
what? You're right. It's like that's how I feel when I look at the kids too. I just remember they were so little. I remember having to breastfeed the little one while we were recording.
Yes.
And I had to like there were so many different times when like our audio was so crappy because I had no other choice. Like I could
I
never
know.
not
That's why we
have.
started it, was because we were the struggle.
Oh my
And you
God, yeah.
wanted to make that okay for people, which I think we have successfully
I think we
done.
did. I think we totally did. I think we
I'm
need
just going
to
to say one more thing. When we
yeah.
started She Podcast, I wasn't even 40. How weird
Yeah.
is that?
Well, I
That's
know. Isn't
weird.
that well, see, I've been kind of meditating on I'm wanting to do this post that I've been cultivating now forever, which is about me being in the industry for 15 years. And I've been
Mhm.
sitting around really thinking about this because when I started podcasting, I was 35.
You weren't in your 40. That's so weird, isn't it?
And so so when I think about that, I was 35 years old. At that time I didn't now I look back and I go, wow, it's like a completely different human being. Like everything is so
Yep.
different about who that person was that
Same.
and here's the kicker for me when it comes to that. We actually have a record of all of
Oh,
that.
God, I didn't even think of that. Holy
We have a
crap.
record. It yeah, so
I
you
never
can
want to hear it ever.
right. It is
Never
I mean,
ever.
there's a certain thing about that is really interesting because never before, and this is something that I had really, really thought about it, but if somebody really wants to get to know us, they
Mhm.
could truly just binge listen.
Shh, don't tell people that. What are you, crazy?
And they
You
would
know what you
really
should tell our
know.
children? You want to understand your mother? Here's 400 hours of
Yeah.
podcasting.
I mean,
Goodbye.
that's awesome because if they,
It
you
is.
know, if they ever miss us, we'd just be like, listen, just put on our show.
Yeah. John, I'm going to give you a project. Here it is. I want you to go through the last 400 hours of
Oh my
audio, and I want you
God.
to start pulling pieces for our funeral. It's got to
April,
start now because it's going to be a lifetime of a job,
look at this.
right?
April, I cannot believe that. That's so
Oh my
amazing. Thank you
God.
so
Love that.
much.
Thank you,
So
April.
in April, I'm
You're a
so
trooper,
sorry. I
man.
just responded to your text message and I'm very sorry because I saw your name and I felt really bad. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
beside the point. But thank you,
Um,
April, so much for that.
You ladies
Yeah,
have given
so-
me a bunch of firsts too, you know.
like,
Like the first time I've ever had to record somebody and had to stop for a butt wiping.
oh,
That was one. There was also the time where May was using the potty chair and she got up and it was stuck to her butt, and Elsie
yes.
freaked out because she
Aw,
was running
April.
around with the thing stuck to her butt and pee was going all over the floor.
Oh, I forgot
Do
about
you not
that.
remember this? Jess, and then that's when we were living in the carriage house, and the carriage house
I know.
had wood floors. And so when the
Mhm.
pee dropped, it would go down into the wood,
So terrible.
down into the other floor.
Oh my God, so terrible.
It's so terrible.
Remember, you didn't have
Anyway,
heat there.
we
Did
didn't
you?
have heat there. No.
Yeah. Or
Randy
somewhere
had
to
to go
sit.
get the sticks.
Yeah.
Then there was the time
That house was fucking crazy. Go ahead. Sorry, John.
It was.
I was going to say, then there was a time where we had to record where Elsie was recording her own audio, but she was on a cell phone.
Yes.
Oh
And we
my
could hear her
God.
on the cell phone, and we were talking, and you guys would talk back and forth, and you would talk over each other because you couldn't really hear each other.
Yes, there
And
was a delay.
Oh,
and
it
I
was
would have
so
to sit
bad.
there, and I remember putting my head in my hands, and going, "Oh my God, how am I going to make this sound good?"
The
But it
thing that
seemed to
made
work out.
John the angriest was when we would lose audio and you would go, "The trees. It's because of the trees. The trees with the leaves." And John was like, "What the trees? I've
We
never
can't,
heard such a thing."
we can't record because I don't have internet because the trees
'Cause of
now
the
have
trees.
leaves. And
Yeah.
I was like,
So ridiculous.
so
His head would explode every time, Elsie. Every
I
time.
mean, agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right.
Agreed. Anyway.
So Elsie has, this is our year for streaming all the things. So because we do our show live, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first year that we've done a consistent year of streaming our show. We've never
Mhm.
done this before.
That's true.
Like we've we've never done it before because my internet was crap. And
Yep.
last year was when I got my proper internet. And this year is when we committed to live streaming every time we recorded. So our strategy was only that, the fact that we wanted to get it out there and have people watch us. But there was nothing attached to what we did with this portion of the streaming other than the fact that, John then takes it and makes it into an audio podcast. But I'm very proud of us for doing that. We were able to
am
get all
too.
our stuff out there,
I am too.
it's
Yeah,
good.
we're the best.
It's good.
I
It's good.
also have a moment that I remember, and it was this year that Jessica was being very, very naughty
Oh
and
my
saying a lot of naughty things. And then all of a sudden,
Uh-huh.
Elsie's mom popped up in the
Oh
comments, and
yeah.
we had
Oh!
this.
Oh
That's
my
right. When my
God!
mom.
That's when I got this little gem.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
bad.
My mom. Yeah. My mom watching the
Yeah.
show is pretty fantastic.
Love that
And
she watches, but I hate
yeah.
that I forgot all about her watching the show, and I was naming all kinds of terrible names for our private parts.
That's
That
right. It was when it was about the lady in the
Mhm.
box or something. I don't know, but whatevs.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah.
did do that. Yes, we did.
that's when
Yeah.
I also got this.
I have naughty thoughts.
I got naughty thoughts from Elsie.
Oh, good times.
Oh, good times. All right.
What
So
else? What
what
else
what
is in there?
what's next?
I can't believe you put Clubhouse on this list. Like
Well,
that.
the only reason I put Clubhouse on this mess is because I can't believe that Clubhouse was just this year. Like the thing that all the hoopla and all the
Are you
conversations and oh
sure
my
it only
god.
started this year?
I think that's right. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not
Can't believe
saying, ooh, Clubhouse deserves a spot. I'm just saying it seems like it's been a conversation that's been going on forever. And it
Yeah.
didn't really actually pick up steam to the degree that it picked up until this year. So it's not that it became like 2021 was when Clubhouse was born. That's not true. But it is the year that everybody's like, you have to go into Clubhouse and Clubhouse
Yeah,
and
but
Clubhouse.
we decided very early we were over Clubhouse. Like before it even
Yes.
started, we were just like, we cannot be bothered with Clubhouse. Yeah,
Right.
Stacey, we
Stacey
don't
hasn't been bought. Neither have I. I did.
there is a
do, I
huge
think,
opportunity for us to be on Clubhouse, and we have denied this opportunity to ourselves
Yes.
fully and completely with zero fucks.
Yes.
That's it.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
Because so much about it was just a no. But
Hi,
anyway,
Carolyn.
that was it. That's all I'm
Patrick.
saying.
Yep. Okay, what else?
Yeah, so
The-
Apple Podcast changing their whole like naming thing from subscribe to follow. It was the thing, I guess, this year. I'm just putting that out there because I do remember that when this happened, oh my God, I did like a special, I think I did a special something for She Podcasts. Like we tried out what was that platform that we tried out? Do you remember that? It was like a
What? For what?
webinar-ish.
You don't mean Relay, do you? Yeah, relay.fm.
No, dude, what are you talking about? No. It was a streaming platform. It wasn't Hopin. Run the
Vimeo?
world.
Oh no,
Run
no.
the world.
Oh, maybe that was it. We also tried that other thing.
Run
I
the
don't remember.
world. We did Run the World, and I ran a like a special webinar as a test for people to understand the difference now from subscribe to follow. And I talked to all kinds of people through it, and we got quite a few like people to sign up for that platform. And don't you remember, dude? They were gonna give us a free account and all kinds of stuff. It's called Run the World. I'll put it in the chat, but that's what we
I
did.
kind of remember.
We used it. There's been so many things, dude, but it seemed to be pretty. It was nice.
How
There's
about
just so
when-
many of these things. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You guys tried to use Vimeo? What's it called?
Venmo?
Not the money.
Vimeo. We
Vimeo.
still use Vimeo, but not for
Vimeo.
streaming.
But
We
tried
are
to
done
record
with Vimeo this year. After this year, no more Vimeo. We're using something called Searchy from now on.
Oh, so
Have you-
everything's going to go on Searchy, even the.
Yes.
So are you closing out the Vimeo account then?
I mean, not before I tell you, but yes, eventually I will be. Yes.
And then you'll let me know where I'm supposed to upload stuff. Okay, good. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm just saying. Also, yeah, we did try. Is that when we tried it, John? When we tried to do the membership and the streaming in the
Yes.
background
Yes.
and
Yes.
Right.
It was
oh
terrible.
God, I
that's when
forgot
rest
about
of my
that crazy thing.
That's when the
We
rest of my hair turned white because me and
That's
Jess were trying to
right.
figure this out.
Yeah, man, that was
Oh my
hard.
God.
There was a lot of this. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello? Can you
Yeah, it
hear
was
me?
awkward. Not gonna lie. It was
not
awkward.
good. Not good. Not good.
Pretty awkward. Pretty awkward. Okay.
Mind you, we did do the She Podcast Mini Con for Podfest, which I was very proud about, very happy about. We had a
Mhm.
fantastic amount of people that showed up for that. We
We
had all
did.
kinds of really wonderful conversations during that mini con. I really was very proud of putting that together,
Sorry.
even though it was only like 3 hours or whatever of content. But
Yeah,
it was
really
very
good.
well thought out, great theme, really solid. Thank you for Chris Kremitzos for giving us that opportunity to do that. So all of that was really fun. I really like that.
And then there was She Podcast Live that went off this
Yes.
year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, you're so skipping all the way to the end.
I'm so
John.
sorry.
Oh my
Elsie-
God, we
Elsie
have
wants
so
to
many
bring up the
things.
goddamn Twitter troll. I don't want to talk about him ever again, or Periscope. They
Oh
can
my
all suck it.
God, that was
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
trying
So
to figure
anyway,
out how
the
to
only
defeat
reason
him.
I'm bringing I brought the Twitter troll up is because I do feel that we can test out Twitter again
Oof.
because Periscope is gone and Twitter is a thing. So I
We
don't
should
know.
probably
We
test it
could.
again. God help us.
We've
What about-
also have now the ability to stream to LinkedIn, but
Ooh,
I'm
that's
not
something.
sure. But I'm not sure this is the show for LinkedIn. Like that's the only part.
I disagree. It is.
You really think so?
Yes, I do.
I'm a little
Definitely.
afraid. I'm a
I
little
have
afraid.
something. I have something to propose. What if you
Okay.
used Twitter Spaces, where then you could bring somebody on, and they could
Right.
ask a question?
I mean, that was a thought, John. I think we need to test it out for next year because I really do like Twitter Spaces. I like the UI. I'm a big UI person. If I don't like the UI, I'm almost usually a no. You know? So
One vote for Jess with LinkedIn. I don't even have
thanks,
a LinkedIn.
April.
I don't even have a LinkedIn profile.
We do as a company.
Yeah,
even.
we do.
So
Yes, we
it
do.
would be very interesting. I mean, I'd be curious to be able to do that. But I do feel that the Twitter Spaces aspect of it would be really great. We just have to kind of test some things out between Jess and I and you, John, because everybody. I mean, the recording aspect is actually the easiest part of it. That's the easiest part, the recording. The hardest part, I think, is going to be the execution of it from the perspective of, like, I can hear the Twitter Spaces people in my ears. Like, I have no problem with that, but I'm not sure Jess is going to be able to do that without having two separate headphones, like one in one
really?
ear and then another one listening somewhere else.
if
I don't
I
think
use-
she
That
can do
doesn't
both.
sound fun.
Well, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
it doesn't sound-
If I use the Rodecaster Pro and use Twitter Spaces from my phone and connected it, you guys would hear them and they would hear you.
So it would be you would be running it, but I would love it if you would be connected to the She Podcast account. Like I wouldn't want it.
No, I'm not. Don't want to be associated with me on Twitter.
Right. Like,
I'm a
so
nightmare.
you would have to like run the whole thing essentially.
You are.
Anyway, we can test
Sorry.
it one day.
Right.
But moving on, let's see. What else do we have going on with that recap that we need to talk about? Oh my gosh, yeah, all the subscription services. Everybody got a subscription this year. Apple Podcast, Spotify, that was like the hip thing. Yeah. What else? That
I don't
was the
think
deal.
Apple. I don't think Apple's really happy with this. I don't think everybody ran to Apple.
No,
like
but who said that? Who Who
The lady with
predicted
her hand
they
in
were
the
going
air.
to eat apples lunch? It was me. It was me. It was me. I
Nobody's
predicted it
happy
all
with the
because I'm a
subscription thing.
genius. No, I
Yeah,
know,
no,
but I told you
nobody's
Spotify
happy
was
with
going to
any.
take over. I was wrong about what year, but I was right about what they were going to do. I knew it. I knew it because you know why? Because they were paying attention and Apple was not. And that's what happened.
Also, I do feel that Spotify has a very, like, when it comes to their marketing, like their marketing, I really think that their marketing team has a lot of influence on the business development side of things. I
Mhm.
feel that Spotify can can make choices fast.
Mhm.
And and I think that Apple is the other way around. Like they really lead with product, and they've always led with product. See, that's the thing. Spotify doesn't have product, physical product, stuff, hardware, right? And
Right.
Apple is a genius when it comes to physical hardware. And that takes a long time to develop, and then they develop stories around the products that really expand into the brand, whereas Spotify, because it's not a fit, like they're not developing actual products, they can move faster with what's happening in the app because it's an app.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
a service. And so when they start to see patterns of behavior, their ability to pivot and move things around and execute is so much faster than with a company like Apple, right? Because they are so huge. Apple is different in so many different ways. So I feel that's the thing
Yeah,
when it comes to that.
totally.
So
So let's talk about your stuff, could we?
oh yeah, let's do some of the stuff. Okay, so some of my favorite things. I know I'm just gonna go down the list so that we can like be very precise when I'm doing this. So these are I love this was the thing that I loved the most about 2021 when it comes to my stuff, my things that made me feel joy. My Shure MV7. This is
Noise.
actually the
Mhm.
MV7X. I love this, and I love my MV7, which is right behind me. Happy to say, Jessica Kupferman, you now have an MV7 as well. I'm so excited.
Yes, I
These are
do. Thank
my
you so much to my
I love
team
them
and to
so much.
Shure for
So much.
sending me this beautiful new microphone. How do I sound? I sound
You are
amazing.
You're
I sound
amazing.
amazing. That's
You
right. I
are
said it. I said it.
amazing.
Yep.
Well,
I sound
see,
great. Thank you
what
guys.
happened was that Elsie and I were talking to the lady from Shore, and I
Laura,
think
who's
yes,
amazing. I
right,
love Laura from
and
Sure.
I think I
Mhm.
begged
I do
her.
too. Thank you,
I
Laura.
I basically got on my hands and knees and begged her to send you a microphone.
Yeah.
It is
Yep.
amazing. I really love it. I think that the functionality is awesome. I love the look of them. I'm really happy with them. I'm super happy with them and love and adore. Anyway, moving on to my iPhone 13 mini. I think that it is possibly the best, most favorite phone that I've ever owned. It is
Mhm.
so fast. It is super compact. Mind you, I was coming from an iPhone 8. So, as you would imagine, the leap into having an iPhone 13 was astounding. So, I'm not sure if the phone itself is what I love so much or just the fact that it's not the iPhone 8. Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm super bummed that I hear through the grapevine that the mini isn't going to be redone. Like it seems like they're not going to put the mini out anymore, and that really makes
Why?
me sad because that size I feel for me is
Wait, how small
perfect.
is it? Can you hold it up? How small
I'm
is it?
not sure I brought it here. I was trying to show you.
Like if it's not mini, does that mean that the new normal is the big papa like what I have? Because I have a
Yes, that
pro. I
means
have
that the
like a
new normal is going to be the big papa that you have. Which one do
this
you
one is
have?
the size of my head. It's the
You have the
Pro
Max.
Max. But yeah, I
Yeah,
have
it's
a
a
big
Pro
one.
Max. No, it's the one that's below that. So there's one that's slightly
Okay.
smaller than what you have. The
All
mini
right.
for
So
me
how big
is
is I can't
How big
imagine
is
that you can see. How can you see that?
See, that's
See
the
what?
problem. I think that's why they're doing away with the mini, is because everybody's uses the screen now to watch stuff, and it's too small
Yeah.
to watch.
I think that in terms of the reason that I love the mini so much is because it is incredibly light, super light, and
Mhm.
it fits into smaller places. It's really just the size itself. Yeah, there are times when I wish that it was bigger because the screen is for sure small, but I love the fact that I can hold it in one hand very easily. And again, the lightness of it is crazy. Like even when I when I switched from the 8 to the 13 mini, I thought, "Oh my god, I'm going to I'm going to lose it." Like it was so it almost felt like I wasn't holding anything in my hand. And
Mhm.
I'm afraid with the larger phones, they're so heavy that putting it in front of you is actually going to give you like more carpal tunnel and stuff like that. Like with people like having to hold the phone and it's just so much harder. I love the feel of the mini and I almost don't even know it's in my pockets when I have it
Mhm.
in my pockets because it's so amazing. So, anyway, I hope that they make it again just because I love that size.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. What's another thing that I loved? My MacBook, my M1 MacBook Air, fantastic, phenomenal machine. Anybody who would like an M1 machine, please get it. And if you
I really
have
want
the
one. What's the
if you
difference?
have a little bit of savings, I would say keep it and don't spend it until next year because I do believe that the M2s are coming up next year for the MacBook Air, and we'll see how that is. And even if you don't want to get the latest and greatest, this is probably go down. It might go down in terms of price, and so you'd still be able to get it. And I really love the M1 MacBook Air. Mind you, I don't have the MacBook Pro. I have the MacBook Air. And lastly, again, this was an Apple year, the Apple Watch fundamentally changed my life. It fundamentally changed my life this year in how I
How
approach
about
my
that?
health and my wellness. I cannot tell you what it has and how it has changed my health. And another thing that's been really astounding is that because of the watch, I'm not connected to my phone. In fact, just like as we're looking, like you were telling me, where's your phone? I'm like, I don't know. Usually my phone is like attached to me. And because of the watch, I've been able to let it go because I realized there's a lot of things that I was using the phone for, like the time, like timers, like
Mhm.
reminders for things, like when I have a calendar reminder of sorts, a to do or something like
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Um, our alarms, like all of those really small, little, basic things that I was using my phone for. Now my watch does it, and it does it so much better that I often don't even have the phone with me. So, for those of you who have known me for most of my life, this is astounding in my life. Anyway, I think that we should move to you, Jessica. Why don't you share some of your things that you loved?
Okay, so for me, some of the stuff I can't live without. It's funny. I've been looking. I've looked at this morning, and I wrote the first thing I wrote that I can't live without is SaneBox, and now I'm literally sitting
Mhm.
here trying to figure out how to live without it, which is stupid. But like, SaneBox is it was a former sponsor, and it's something that's supposed to really help you organize your email, but I don't know that I'm using it to the best of its abilities. And I don't see why I wouldn't just make filters instead of paying $12 a month for something.
Hmm.
But it is cool in that it will train your email to go to like I want to deal with this later, or newsletters or receipts or whatever else. I think I can just deal without it. But it is cool if you're having a hard time with your email, at least figure out how to start organizing it. Um,
Hmm.
I've been working really hard on money management. So I've been using Mint, Credit Karma, and QuickBooks. QuickBooks will pull in everything, your PayPal, your credit cards, your bank account. You can really get a good idea of your profit and loss without having to make spreadsheets and download your fucking statements every month. Like I have been missing out by not using it to its full advantage also. So I've been really trying hard. I have not mastered the money management for my business or my personal, but it's one of the things I've been working on the hardest, especially in the last couple months. Um,
And Jess, when
I've
you
done
said, did you say QuickBooks for that one?
QuickBooks, yeah, and it's not
QuickBooks. Okay.
expensive. QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Credit Karma will give you an idea of what your credit score is and how to improve it, and then Mint will give you an idea about your personal spending, like what you're spending on, like I don't know, shopping or DoorDash or whatever. And speaking of that, I've been really good about outsourcing this year more than ever. And let me just tell you some of the things I've figured out I could do. Okay, so like here are some of the ingenious ways I've outsourced this year. Number one, every time I have a stupid ass birthday party to go to, I have had Shipped deliver me the present and the wrapping paper. So I don't have to go out for the sole purpose of buying a toy for a kid. You could also do this via Amazon. I always think of it too late for Amazon. I'm always just like, think of it that morning. And then, what I used to do is run Isaac around, rush through the store, get a birthday card, rush to the party because I suck. But instead, this really helps where like I just have it delivered that morning. I just find a toy in Target and have it delivered to me through Shipped. Another thing I've been doing, DoorDash now has some grocery stores on it. So rather than like schedule a big shop and have it come to you when you can unload all the groceries, like if you just want to make dinner, you can have like ground beef, noodles, whatever, just DoorDash it to you in like a half hour. So Instacart is like for big shops, but DoorDash is for like bring me the takeout, but it's also bring me the groceries now, which is great. Also, it will also bring you drugstore stuff. So like when Isaac wasn't feeling well, I DoorDashed myself a home COVID test so that he could take it right away. So it's like for onesie twosie things, like you're having friends over, DoorDash yourself some fruit and cake, put out a little something for your friends, just stuff like that. The other thing that I have used Instacart and Shipped for, which was genius, was when we were traveling. I don't know if you got a chance to like get in on this with me, Elsie, because you're pretty fussy about where you get your food. But
yeah,
when we got to Arizona, Jack and I sat down and made a list of all the stuff we wanted for the week. And then I Instacarted it to our rooms because we had little fridges. So like yogurt, granola, milk, mixers, alcohol. If we had forgotten stuff, like there were some things we forgot. We Instacarted some stuff from Staples, pens, notebooks, folders, shit like that. Anything that you don't want to like pack that you need somewhere, just Instacart, DoorDash, ship it to yourself. You just change the address and boom shakalaka, the stuff you need is there. It was amazing.
Wow.
So,
I have to, every time I go to my in-laws, I think that I need to really think about this. Now, I've been doing that with Whole Foods because that way, like, even when we're on the road heading over to Pittsburgh, I will like get a list together and then I will have the Whole Foods order delivered to me the following morning.
Beautiful.
So I have,
exactly,
which is great, but I have to think about like how to add those other little bits of because it's only there that I can use this stuff. Like no one, Jessica, sorry, no one delivers anything where I live. Like
I know
you can't do that. You gotta go.
I know.
So,
but if you are traveling for work or when you're in Pittsburgh, the other thing you can just start doing is like, anytime you think I need something, but I don't feel like going out, that's when you open the app. What the fuck can I have delivered to myself? If you need to go out, like I said, get a birthday present. What can I deliver to myself? I need a new toaster. I don't feel like going to get it. What can I have delivered to myself? Target, Bed Bath, Dick's Sporting Goods. When Isaac started soccer, cleats, water bottles, sports outfits. Never had to shop for it. All through everything. I am the outsourcing master. The only thing I did not master this year was having my food cooked for me. I tried to outsource that for a month or so. It was working in the sense that she was making the meals, bringing them here. It's just that I think it's very hard for you to hire someone to cook for your family. Like, it turns out that families eat in very specific ways. Her family eats in a specific way, mine eats in a specific way, and they don't really coincide too often. So like, I have a very fussy eater family. So like, do you eat zucchini noodles? No. What about mushroom soup? Negatory. How about turkey meatloaf? Barf. Like they're like all the things she suggested. We were like, and so it got difficult. I still think it's possible. I just think I have to be smarter when I hire someone about it. Let's see. So yeah, I was really good about outsourcing. That today, this was the year of outsourcing. The other thing I've been enjoying this year, which actually I've been enjoying for 2 years, but I got more heavily into it this year, was games on my iPhone. I have iPhone arcade. Blah, 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 blah. I have Apple Arcade, and I've been really getting into point and click puzzle games, mystery games. Like when I got I think I told you this, when I got a concussion a couple years ago, I felt a little dumber in the brain. And so I read somewhere that old people who play video games are smart. They can keep their wits about them for longer. So I started playing video game, like anything. At first it was anything, but now I do like word search, word match, not word match, but like, like where they give me a jumbled bunch of letters and I have to make words out of it. It really helps me stay sharp. And actually it will tire me out. Like if your brain buzzes at the end of the day, this is the kind of thing that will make you super tired, is like trying to come up with words when you're tired. You're like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. Oh, did I already use meat? Like once you start doing the same word over and over, you're like, I gotta go to bed. So it works out really well. But also I've been solving crimes and like trying to get out of escape rooms. And I almost always use the hints, but it's really fun. So I've been doing that a lot, and reading Board Panda. Board Panda at the end of the day is awesome because it's like it's a curation of shit, I guess, that they find on the internet, often on Reddit. So it's like 33 pictures of wholesome animal friendships, 33 pictures of ridiculous street signs, 33 pictures of grandmas being funky, or just whatever. Like it's always good. It's always amusing. It's never depressing. Boardpanda.com. They only do like Monday through Friday. On the weekends, you have to kind of search through there, but it does also, it's another way to rest the brain. I have like 100. I should write a book about 101 ways to rest the brain before bed, because it's the struggle.
Yeah, so that's why I get all those articles sent to me late night. Yes, it's like she's got like, it's not I don't get a board article link that you shared like in the middle of the day. Usually it's like when I wake up in the morning, I get a text because you sent it to me. Sleep in the night.
You go to sleep like 2 hours or So like, and often I'm not trying to send you the article. I'm just trying to send you the one picture.
Right.
So like last night I sent her an article. 50 times people found such unexpected things they had to share the pics online. And the one I sent her actually did come up in the text, Elsie, but it's a plaque on a bench that says,
amazing,
here, dedicated to Hayden Kay's. Hold on, where I can't
it is so good.
It was totally Elsie. Here it is. Dedicated to Hayden Case, forever missed by his friends and family. He's not dead yet. He's just become increasingly antisocial. And they plaqued it on a bench. It's a bench plaque. I was like, that's amazing. I'm going to do that for her.
I want to have I do want to have a plaque on a bench before I'm dead. I mean, why wouldn't people do that?
Why wouldn't they? It's hilarious.
That's so good.
Missed by friends and family, not because they're dead. They just never leave the house.
They just never leave the house. Anyway, but yes, brilliant. Thank you so much. But that's great because I think, Board Panda. My child loves that. Hunter loves Board Panda. She reads it a lot.
Does she? I love it. I also got really good at shopping for specific shit. Like if I want a specific brand in a specific size or specific item of clothing, I have learned that you can literally search for anything on Poshmark, Etsy, or eBay and find the thing you want, if not better, in your size for less money than you would find it if you were just searching Google. That's my new trick. Poshmark, Etsy, eBay. I have found the coolest shit all year. And if not, then I go to Anthropologie. Everything I want is on Anthropologie in the exact vibe that I want it in. That is it. That's me for the year. I would like to do a little post about hobbies that I tried to pick up this year that went in the toilet, but that's a whole nother show.
I think we need to revisit this because I have a feeling a lot of folks would really get a lot of benefit from us talking about the things that we did, because part of it is that the stuff that's more like strategic and somehow very focused on like, what are the top 10 tips that we found in 2021 to make our podcast better? That's even though we could do something like that, I think there's something to be said. about, I'm sorry, what?
Everyone does that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everyone does
Yeah.
that, and we just don't do that. Even if we tried to do that, we wouldn't do that. We couldn't even do that.
I
And
don't
I
want to
think
do
there's
that. I like what
something.
we do instead. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yes, we can keep talking about some things that made our lives better, holistically, like throughout the whole thing, right?
Totally
Because
agree.
part of what you're saying in terms of reading Bored Panda at the end of the day, it's such a simple little thing that a lot of us, I feel, are struggling with. Like, how do you, like, we could talk about, like, even how to unwind at the end of the day. Like, what are the things that have really helped you the most not to have an anxiety
Mhm.
attack before you close your eyes? You
Right.
know, I mean,
Or how do
honestly,
you?
like,
It's how I prevent myself from staying up half the night is by winding
yeah,
it down. And then the other
exactly.
stuff, I mean, and the other stuff I have too, I feel like we could do this. Why don't we say this for New Year's is like stuff I'm
Yeah.
letting go of in 2022,
Yes.
like hobbies,
Me
for
too.
example. Like I'm just going to decide right now I'm never going to try another hobby ever again because every time I do it becomes a pile of shit on the floor. Roller skating,
Yes.
just whatever it is I think I want to do, I'm just not going to do it, not going to commit to it, not going to buy anything for it because it will stick in my brain for a little while, yes, but as soon as I buy the thing, it's over. I'm not interested anymore. It's just
It's
ADHD,
because
stuff like
it's
that.
ADHD. Exactly. It's the dopamine hit. Like, once you get it, it's done, And I think
Yeah.
there's something to be, anyway. Yeah, we can talk about that.
So yeah, why don't we?
For sure.
We'll come back on New Year's. And so, if you guys want to get ready for that, send us a list. feedback@shepodcast.com. What are
Yes.
you trying and going towards for 2022? And what, more importantly, what are you letting go of? What expectation of yourself are you just going to be like, no, I'm not going to have a hobby. I'm no longer straightening my hair. I'm not dieting anymore. I am trying to work on my health, but not through dieting and diet culture. I am done with diet. The word diet, weight loss, all of it can rot in hell. I'm done.
So,
That's it.
folks, and then just as Jess said, like, if you want to give us specific business stuff, sure.
Yeah,
If you want to give
sure.
us podcasting stuff, right on.
Definitely.
But it can also be just things that
What
are
stuff are you
just
done
stuff.
with?
Yes, we're open to stuff, whatever that might be,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
will read it on the show. And hey, if you want to get
Yes.
fancy, you can send us voice feedback, because if you do it early
Yes.
enough, I think John
We can
will
add
be
it.
ready for it, because we
That's
are
right.
recording this. Our very first episode of 2022 is going to be January 10th. So you have
Yeah.
a lot of time to
A
prepare,
month.
and it's going to go live on January 14th. So please send it to us. All the feedback, things that you're sitting around going like, oh my God, I'm really going to need to let this go. You can text
Mhm.
it to us. You can email feedback@shepodcast.com. You can do all of those things, and we will add you to the show. And that's going to be a really fun episode.
Right
I hope.
on, right on. Yes, please
Yay.
do. And so on that note, we're going to head out for the rest of the year. Thank you guys so much for being with us today. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Those of you who have watched it today
Yay.
and hung in there all day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. So if you want to find us on social, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at She Podcast. You can also find our website, shepodcast.com. Please email us again, feedback@shepodcast.com. We're happy to hear all your feedback. And do we have anything else we want them to do? I don't think so. Have a good
No.
Christmas. Have a good New Year's. Have a peaceful holiday. Have a cozy December. Head on into winter with some hygge. And we will see you in 2022. Thank you guys so much. Love you.
Mean it.
Bye.